In this video, I want to review how to fulfill an order utilizing Dropify. So when a customer comes to your Shopify store and they purchase something, how do you fulfill that order using Dropify? So you may not know it, but Dropify actually has their own training videos. So if you go to your Dropify dashboard and you click video training, it should bring you to a page that looks like this, and there's a bunch of videos in here. So for the process of fulfilling orders, I'm actually going to recommend to all of you, if it's okay, that you watch the training videos for fulfillment on the Dropify dashboard. The reason I don't want to create a video is because the Shopify account and the Dropify account I'm using to create these training videos for you guys are not real accounts, obviously. So I don't have any orders to fulfill. And if I were to create a video utilizing my own Shopify store, I would have to reveal a lot of the products I sell, which I don't want to do for obvious reasons. So I hope you do understand. But don't fear. Dropify has amazing training videos. If you haven't checked them out, please do. I'm going to ask you to scroll all the way to the bottom, and at the very bottom there is training videos on fulfillment. So fulfilling orders. There are, I think, there's 12 videos. You don't necessarily have to watch all of them. I've watched every single video, obviously, but if you have time, I would recommend to watch all the videos as well. But if you're limited on time, under the fulfillment order section, you only have to really watch these 3 videos: Dropify order fulfillment process, see it in action, manage Shopify orders, and use the order queue in Dropify. So that is this top right video, Dropify order fulfillment process. See it in action, manage Shopify orders, and at the very bottom right, using the order queue in Dropify. So after you watch all 3 of those videos, you should have some amazing examples from Dropify on how to fulfill orders. The training videos on this Dropify dashboard is really awesome. So if you have time, I actually recommend you watch all of the videos. I again apologize that I didn't create the video. It's because I don't have any orders to fulfill, and I also have very sensitive information on my personal Shopify store, such as the products I'm selling and things like that. So, but you're going to be in good hands, so don't worry. Please check out those videos, the ones I assigned, and some of the other videos if you have time. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video. I want to quickly remind all of you that Dropify has an amazing support staff. They're very hands-on. They help you in real time. You can chat with them. You can have a full-on conversation with them. They are there 24/7 for the most part. Sometimes if you message them in the middle of the night, it may take them until the morning to respond to you. But if you're working in normal working hours from like 9 to 5, and 9 to 5, especially in time zones in the United States, because Dropify is a US-based company, then they should be able to respond to you very quickly. And I want to remind you, because of course you can always message me with your questions, but when it comes to Dropify, I may be an expert at it, but the customer service are even more experts at Dropify. They know functionalities that I may not even know about, or depending on what your question is, if I'm not that familiar, they're going to be a better person to answer your question. And if you want to ask a question to someone on Dropify, all you have to do is go to this green button at the bottom right. You're going to click it. Then you click New Conversation, and then these are all the people that are working right now that can answer your questions. All you're going to do is say, "Hey, Joe," you could say, "Hey, support staff, how do I import a product?" You can ask them any kind of question like that. Then you press Enter, and they'll respond to you almost immediately. All right, guys, so I just wanted to remind you, because do not be afraid to reach out to them. They are amazing. They have answered probably over 100 questions I've asked them in the past. So please tap into that resource. It's free. It's or I guess it's not free, but it's part of being a member at Dropify. It's another resource that's afforded to you. I want to again encourage all of you to please sign up for Dropify. As you can see from this section of the course, Dropify is really a necessary tool and application you will need to successfully dropship. Without it, you will not be able to do it, okay? Don't contemplate, you just go and do it. There's not a lot of things that I'm gonna recommend you pay for throughout this course. but this is one of them. This is a necessity for you to be able to dropship. So like a Shopify membership, you need to also sign up for Dropified, okay guys? But I did provide you a free membership trial link that will last for a couple of weeks. That link is in the resources section of this lecture. So if you go to the far right side where it says resources, and you're viewing this video from your computer, it should be on the far right side, okay guys? Or you can just copy and paste this exact URL into your web browser, bit.ly/dropifiedfree. Make sure it's all lowercase letters because it is case sensitive. The reason it's so important that you sign up for Dropified using my free membership trial link specifically is because I am currently working and negotiating with the Dropified headquarters so that they can create me a unique discount code that I can provide to all of you. That discount code will make a discount apply to your paid membership once you upgrade to a paid membership. So again, the free membership trial only lasts for several weeks. After that, Dropified will ask you to upgrade to a paid membership. However, if you initially signed up for Dropified using my free membership trial link, I will be able to provide you a discount in the very near future that you can hopefully use and apply to your monthly membership costs for utilizing Dropified, okay? But overall, I just want to remind you, please use Dropified, download it, it's gonna be a necessity. I also wanted to take a time to walk you through some of the different memberships on Dropified so that when you upgrade your plan from free to paid, you can choose the right membership for you. So let's take a dive in. So these are the 2 paid memberships on Dropified. So once your free membership trial is over, you're gonna have to upgrade to one of these, all right? There's a builder plan for $47 a month or a premier plan for $127 a month. I use, obviously, the premier plan. I highly recommend the premier plan. It has actually a lot more functionality than the builder plan. Everything I taught you in this section of the course can be done with the builder plan, but there's really awesome things in the premier plan that I didn't go over because not everyone has the premier plan. But if you have the capital to pay for the premier plan, please sign up for that one. I highly encourage you to do so. I'll go over why in just a second, but remember, the more you invest in yourself, the faster you will become successful dropshipping, and premier plan will get you there much faster as well. So let's go through the differences in plans. So for the builder plan, you can have 1 store. For the premier plan, you can have up to 5 stores. So I have multiple stores, and that is one of the main reasons I use the premier plan. But that reason is probably the least reason I want to share with you. Some of the reasons get even better down here. So you can have 15,000 products on your builder plan and 50,000 products on the premier plan, which is a lot more, obviously. You can have 50 product boards for the builder plan, but you can have 250 product boards for the premier plan. 5 times as much because you have 5 times as many stores. I have multiple stores, so I like to have a lot of product boards. Both plans can obviously fulfill as many orders as you receive per month. For the builder plan, you can have 5 user accounts. For the premier plan, you can have up to 25 user accounts. To put that in perspective, I currently have about 9 assistants that work for me, and that is, again, one of the reasons I have to use the premier plan. Each assistant works on like a different Shopify store that I own. They're always importing products, fulfilling orders, and things like that. So having more than 5 users may become very useful in the very near future. But this is where premier plan really stands out from the builder plan. First, you have the advanced profit dashboard. So if you go back to the Dropified dashboard, you'll see profit dashboard here. These are mostly premier functionalities in this section under the business section. So profit dashboards, if you had the premier plan and you went to your profit dashboard, it will show you nice reports and analytics based on your revenue and profit. The reason Shopify can't show you your profit accurately is because Shopify doesn't know your drop shipping. So it can't calculate your revenue versus your expenses very accurately, right? Because it doesn't know how much money you're spending on AliExpress. So having the premier plan calculate your profits and revenue in a nice report and analytics is very useful. Unlimited high-speed CAPTCHA solver. So I've talked about CAPTCHA in other videos, I believe. CAPTCHA is a way for a website such as AliExpress.com to verify that you are a human when you go to check out and purchase a product. So if you remember, we are going to purchase products using Dropify, right? When a customer comes to your Shopify store and buys something, you're going to use Dropify to fulfill that order, and Dropify is going to automatically go over to AliExpress, find that exact same product, purchase it, input the customer's address, and then pay for that product and ship it to the customer. But sometimes in that checkout process, AliExpress is going to require a CAPTCHA verification, a human verification. But Dropify is so intelligent that it can actually solve that CAPTCHA on its own as if it was a human. Therefore, you don't need to solve it yourself. Therefore, there's no interruptions in your fulfillment process. If you have the builder plan, you may have to go in and manually verify that you are a human. There's not always a CAPTCHA verification on every single order, but it does come up every so often, and it does, interrupt your fulfillment process. CallFlex. CallFlex is actually a customer service phone automated service. Did I say that right? A phone automated customer service hotline, basically. And it is included for free in Premiere. So with Premiere, you get a hotline for customer service that you can provide to your customers that has a lot of automation involved to just really support customers in an even more seamless way. It helps when you have a virtual assistant or assistant to help you as well. They can really leverage this CallFlex. And then last but not least, there is Tube Hunt. This is kind of difficult to explain, but Tube Hunt is a very modern, hyper-focused way to market using Google Ads. What Tube Hunt does is, for example, let's assume that I'm selling dog shampoo so I can wash my dog. I'm selling that to dog owners. I can use Tube Hunt to go and search every single viral video on YouTube that deals with washing dogs. And then I can collate all of those videos into, I could collect all those URL addresses in the matter of seconds. Then I can apply those addresses to my Google ad targeting so that when I run a Google ad about my products, my dog shampoos, they will target those ads specifically to people watching YouTube videos about washing their dogs. It's extremely powerful. Tube Hunt alone, there's other programs out there that do the same thing, and they cost anywhere between, last time I saw it was like $67 was the lowest to up to $200. So it is a powerful program, and it's included free in the Premier setting. So that is my review of both of these plans. Of course, Premier plan is better, but it does come at a cost. If you can afford it, sign up for upgrade to the Premier plan once your free membership trial is over. If you can't afford it, then obviously your hands are tied. Sign up for the builder plan and you can still do all the bare bones for drop shipping. All right, see you guys on the next video. Hey guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to avoid long shipping times now that e-packet shipping is no longer available. So again, if you don't know what e-packet shipping is, it is the type of shipping that used to be available to really expedite shipping from China all the way to the United States. It was a fast and affordable way of shipping products. Products could get here in anywhere between 10 and 20 days. That shipping, e-packet shipping, is no longer available as of 2019 because of COVID and other various political reasons. So a lot of questions I've been getting is, can we still do drop shipping from China, from AliExpress, because shipping times are so long or shipping methods are too expensive? And the answer is yes, right? If you're using Dropify application, which obviously I've been teaching about in this section, there is a way to filter out products from AliExpress that are not necessarily stored in China. Instead, these products are stored in warehouses in major countries such as the United States. And if you drop ship and filter by these products, then the drop shipping times and the shipping times, I should say, will be much shorter and sometimes more affordable, but sometimes actually more expensive. It just really depends on the product. But overall, the shipping times should be shorter, which is the main complaint now that e-packet shipping is no longer available after 2019. So what I've done is I've added a link in this lecture. Just go to the resources, click that link, and it should bring you to a page that looks something like this. What is US Products Database? So in Dropify, there's something called the International Products Database, or if you're looking only for the United States, called the US Product Database. Essentially, it is a way to filter products that are stored in warehouses in very specific countries, so that if you're shipping, you don't necessarily have to ship from China. You could ship from a warehouse that's a little bit closer, therefore reducing the reducing the shipping times. So if you scroll to the bottom, you can take a chance, just go ahead and read through this. It's going to kind of say what I basically said. It's going to talk about how there's products that are stored in warehouses in the United States, as well as other countries such as Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, Turkey, and China. And then it is very, very important that you then click these two links here at the bottom. This is going to tell you how to use this setting. I've been working with the Dropify team for actually over many years now. And the great thing about Dropify is that they have their own training videos, as I probably mentioned before, and they have a great video for not only how to use this setting, but also how to set up different variances and map your products if you're using this international product database or the US product database. You can call it really whatever you want. So if I click the first link, it'll bring me to a page that looks like this. Then just click the video, watch it. It'll walk you through in detail. I didn't want to kind of create this video just because the video here is already so good, that was created by Dropify, obviously. And then if you click this link here, it will show you how to map these products if you want to use different variances through this international or US product database. All right, so this is I would say one way, probably the main way that you're gonna overcome those long shipping times now that e-package shipping is no longer available. Okay, so do not panic. I get it, e-pack is no longer available. Don't worry, we have alternatives. Luckily, Dropify has this really, really, really powerful setting and function. Without this function, dropshipping would probably be dead and be very, very difficult at this point, or you would have to find other alternative ways to dropship from your own country without AliExpress. So, but we have it, so that's great. Please watch these two videos that are linked right here and here, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Hey guys, welcome to the email marketing section of this course. In this section, we're predominantly going to focus on the Omnisend application. Omnisend is a email marketing application for Shopify, and it was created specifically for e-commerce businesses. That's why it's been catching so much traction as an email marketing application. And I've provided a free membership trial to Omnisend in the attached resources section of this lecture. So if you use that, you can get, I believe, 14 days free trial, which will save you some money. After the trial is over, you can choose any of these different plans. I would probably just recommend the standard plan. I use the pro plan because I use text message marketing, but if you don't want that, just use the standard plan. That's fine. If you want the text message marketing, then you can use the $99 plan, but that's completely up to you. And I know, $16 is adding on top of some of the other costs that I've already mentioned, but Omnisend is one of those apps that is 100% necessary for the success of your dropshipping business. Email marketing is one of those forms of marketing that every single successful e-commerce business has. And I'll show you what I mean. Have you ever, for example, if you've ever gone to a shopping website, say Nordstrom's.com or Macy's.com, when you first go there, you're going to get a pop-up that asks you for your email in exchange for maybe a 10% off coupon or 20% off coupon. The reason that pop-up shows up is because that company wants to collect your email. So in the future, they can market other discounts and other promotions to you and make money off of you returning to their business and purchasing again. So email marketing is a very, very powerful tool. It's also powerful because for the most part, it doesn't really cost any money. Besides your $16 a month, whenever you send out an email, you can send out it for free. All you have to do is collect emails over time and grow your email list. But you can market to that email list anytime you want, send out hundreds to thousands of emails relatively for free. So it's a great way to market. It also has a good return on investment because people are likely to open an email in comparison to, say, a Facebook ad where people sometimes just scroll by it, or an Instagram ad where people scroll by it as well. So email marketing is very powerful. It is one of the types of marketing that is 100% necessary to have a successful e-commerce business. So make sure to get it. And it is there's a couple of different email marketing apps out there on the Shopify App Store. Omnisend is number one. It's what I use. It's what I recommend. It's what other people use as well. It's 4.8 out of 5 stars, which is a really high rating. And it's the most downloaded email marketing tool on Shopify. So, it's not just my recommendation. Other people, other successful entrepreneurs use it as well. As I mentioned, there's that $16 per month fee if you're doing the standard plan. And again, it's a necessary expense. It's a very, very intuitive platform, which is why I like it. It's very easy to navigate. It's easy to set up your different email lists, set up your automated email sequences and things like that. They have automated workflow emails, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And they have it for every step of a customer's journey that are very intuitive to customize. What I mean by a customer's journey is no matter where a customer is within your website, whether they just landed on your website or they're checking out to buy a product, there's going to be certain prompts from Omnisend that will increase the likelihood of them either purchasing or giving you their email so you can make them do a return purchase or a second purchase in the future. Pop-up forms that help with passively collecting emails for future marketing. This is one of the main benefits of Omnisend beyond the other forms of email marketing. This is where when you go to a website, you get a pop-up like I mentioned earlier. And they also have text message marketing and automation marketing, I should say. But again, this comes with the $99 plan. You can do the text message in the standard plan as well, but you don't get the $99 of free SMS credit. SMS just means text message. So I apologize. Let me say that again. They both do text messaging, but you get $99 worth of free text messages through the Pro plan. And that's pretty much it. So in the next several videos, we're going to go into a lot of detail with the Omnisend app. I know you're going to like it just because it's just really, really intuitive. And once you set up your automated emails, you don't really have to think about it. Omnisend does all the work in the background. So you're going to do probably a little bit more work up front at the beginning. But once you set up those automated emails, you won't have to worry about it in the future. It's going to do all the work and it's going to help you bring in revenue. I would say it probably brings in probably about 25 to 30% of my revenue. So as you can see, it's quite important of an application. Some of the other applications that we'll go through in the later part of this course are most likely optional, but this app and Dropify app, those type of apps are all kind of necessary. If you happen to find maybe a better email marketing app, I'd love to hear about it. But to my knowledge, this is the #1 app for email marketing right now in Shopify App Store. And if you don't believe me, you can always go and check. But again, please use the link in my attached resources for that free membership trial so you can save some money, at least temporarily. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Hi guys, in this video I want to quickly review the concept of email marketing. I know a lot of people in this course are completely new beginners to the world of e-commerce, so I understand that you may not be familiar with email marketing, so I wanted to create this video for you. If you know what email marketing is, you can easily skip this lecture. So what is email marketing? Email marketing is one of many different forms of marketing. For example, we have Facebook advertisements, which is one form of marketing. We have social media marketing, which is, for example, you may be using Instagram to bring brand awareness to your business. There's SEO, which is search engine optimization. There's certain strategies you can use to optimize how likely your website will show up on a search engine. So that's SEO. And then there's email marketing. There's other forms of marketing as well, but those are kind of the main ones. So email marketing is kind of the fourth main way you can market. And it's called email marketing because you're using emails to market your business. And generally, email marketing requires two main steps. The first step is to collect emails of visitors to your business or your website, right? We use a website because we have an online business. That may seem obvious, but I think some people don't understand that. So to send an email, you need an email address of a customer. And to collect that email, you have to do it somehow on your website. So to collect emails, generally with the e-commerce business, you will incentivize customers that visit your website to submit their emails. So usually how it goes is someone visits your website and then they may receive a pop-up, and that pop-up may say, please sign up for a newsletter for future promotions and sales. Please input your email. Or it may say, please input your email for an immediate 20% off discount code. Something like that. Generally, there will be some form of incentivization so this customer will input their email. Obviously, customers don't naturally want to input their emails because they don't want to be bombarded by all of your promotional emails or spam and things like that. So you want to incentivize customers to submit their emails, and that therefore you will have their email for future email marketing or even immediate email marketing. But ideally, you want to grow a really, really, really large email list. The bigger your email list, the better. The more emails you've collected, the better. All right, so that's step one. Step two is send them a proactive or automated promotional email with the goal of incentivizing them via discounts, coupons, promotions to come back to your store to make a purchase, right? They may have been a previous customer, or they may have simply been a previous visitor to your website. Either way, if you have their email, you want to be able to send them an email either proactively, meaning you manually do it, or have the Omnisend app automatically send them an email under certain conditions. And in that email is generally, at least in the world of e-commerce, there's generally some kind of incentivization for that customer to come back to your store and make another purchase or make a purchase for the first time. And usually the incentivization is some form of a discount code or a coupon code or some kind of promotion that is store-wide. You want to incentivize them, because if you email them and say, hey, please come back and buy something, chances are, unless they really, really, really love your store, they're not going to come back for no reason, right? You want to incentivize them to come back, and generally you have to do that with some kind of discount. A tip for you, unlike Facebook marketing, which requires ad spend to advertise, ad spend is money, it doesn't cost anything to send a promotional email to your existing email list. This is why collecting emails are so important. So if you're familiar with Facebook marketing, and if you're not, I have a section that's completely dedicated to Facebook marketing. So Facebook marketing, to use Facebook advertisements, you have to pay money to run an ad. Every single ad you run on Facebook, you have to pay for. But for email marketing, you don't have to pay for. I mean, besides paying for the app, which is a very, very small amount of money. But once you have the app does everything for you, right? All you have to do is collect emails, which the app also helps you do. But to send out an email advertisement or promotional email to all of your all of the users on your email list, it does not cost you any money, okay? That is why email marketing is so great. It's automated. It's essentially free, right? Besides the cost of the actual app. But overall, it's pretty much free in comparison to something like Facebook advertisements. So that's why I love it. That's why you should love it. That's why you should set it up. That's why it's a necessity for any e-commerce business. I hope that made sense, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But that is email marketing in a nutshell. Hey guys, for those of you who are already using another email marketing service or application, you can import your existing email list to Omnisend very, very easily by following the instructions outlined in the link below, this link right here. I understand that this is a video, so you can't click this link, so I've also added this link to the attached resources for this specific lecture, okay? So just look at the attached resources for this lecture video, and you'll see this link in there. Click that link, and it will bring you to a page that looks something like this. This is the Omnisend support kind of help center. And it will outline exactly how you can import your existing email list from a different email marketing service. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to do this. They teach you different ways you can do it. Add a single contact, paste contact details, file import, so importing a file, and importing from MailChimp specifically. So again, it's going to walk you through it in detail. There's even a video right here. Depending on which one you choose, it should show you how to do it. Again, it shouldn't take very, very long. I actually used a different email marketing service before Omnisend, before I learned about Omnisend, and I was able to import it in literally less than 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, guys. So I hope that was helpful. If you're using a current email marketing service, please import over to Omnisend when you transition to Omnisend. See you on the next video. Hey guys, in this video I want to do a quick walkthrough of Omnisend's dashboard so that we can be more familiar with it. So let's go over to the dashboard. So the first thing I want you to do is click this top right button here and then go to the bottom where it says Connected Store. Please ensure that your Shopify store is connected to your Omnisend app. It should automatically be connected once you install Omnisend, but if it isn't for some reason, if you don't see your Shopify store name right here, please connect it. I'm assuming there would be a button here somewhere that says Connect Store if your store wasn't connected. But for the most part, I would imagine if you installed it correctly, it should be connected, all right? So let's review some of the tabs at the top here. I'm going to review all these in more details in future videos, so I'm just going to review these really quick in this video. So campaigns are email promotions that you send out proactively. So the difference between campaigns and automations is that automation emails are automated, meaning that you don't have to proactively send them out. They will send out under whatever conditions you specify for them. Campaigns are email promotions that you send out proactively. That means you have to go in and manually send them out. If you have an email campaign, it's going to sit right here, and you can filter it from newest to oldest or from the title. If you have a draft campaigning, meaning you were working on that email campaign, you were building it, you were putting in your verbiage and ad copy and the pictures, but you didn't finish it, and it's just a draft, the draft should sit here as well. You can schedule emails campaigns to be sent out for a future date. For example, if you want to send out an email campaign for the Christmas holidays, you can create that email campaign today and schedule it for the future during Christmas. And that's email campaigns. And you could create a new campaign up here by clicking this button. Here are your automation workflow emails. I like to call them automation emails, but Omnisend likes to call them automation workflows. It's going to be synonymous, at least for the purpose of this course. So they give you some sample automation workflows that you can utilize, or you can just delete these and use a different one. These are just suggested automation workflows that you can use. But later when I talk about automation workflow emails, I'm going to suggest some for you, so you don't necessarily have to use all of the ones that are suggested here. Enabled and disabled means to turn on the workflow and turn off the workflow. So if you want to turn off these automated emails, then you would just disable them, all right? And you can create a new workflow by clicking this top right button here, which I'll show you how to do later. Forms. So in Omnisend, they call pop-up forms for short. Sometimes they're called pop-up messages, pop-up forms. For the most part, they're generally called pop-up forms. But here in Omnisend, they just call them forms. Forms or pop-up forms are generally a form that pops up on your homepage when a visitor visits your website, and it prompts the visitor to input their email in exchange for some kind of incentive, either by signing up for your newsletter or getting an instant discount code. So that's what a form is, or a pop-up form. And Omnisend is really awesome. It has a couple pop-up forms. It has a Wheel of Fortune pop-up form, and then a form that's just called pop-up form, which is just a basic pop-up form. I'll go over these in detail later, and you can create a form by clicking this top right button right here. In Omnisend, audiences are essentially your email lists, right? So you'll see that it says all contacts here under the audience tab. So audience is just basically all the email contacts you have ever collected. And there are many different ways you can organize your email contacts. And I'll talk a little bit about it later, but you have saved segments. So you can specify certain conditions that will then divide your overall email list into sub-lists dependent upon how you specify your saved segments. And I'll go over that in detail later. You can import and export email lists as well. I talked a little bit about importing emails already. For example, if you're using a different email marketing service, you may want to import your existing email list into Omnisend if you are transitioning to the Omnisend email marketing app. And then here we have reports. So reports are essentially analytics on the performance of your emails. You would go here to read up on how well your email campaigns are doing, how well your workflows are doing, how well your pop-up forms are doing. And you're not going to see anything here right now until you start running some of those campaigns and workflows. And generally in these reports, you can see things about, the open rate of your emails, how many times your emails have been clicked, even how many times you have been unsubscribed. If you get a really, really high unsubscribe rate, that means you are spamming your email list too often, or you are not providing a good enough incentive in your emails so people consider it spam and they'll unsubscribe from your email list. Once someone unsubscribes from your email list, you will lose their email list in your audience tab, okay? There's a lot of restrictions and guidelines around email marketing. So if someone unsubscribes you, you cannot continue to email them. You are no longer allowed to email them, okay? That's just regulations around email marketing. And you also have live view. I don't really spend much time in live view. Live view is a way to capture what visitors are doing on your store. Visitors meaning people on your email list. And the live view keeps track of 3 key pieces of information. They do how many active visitors are currently online, how many visitors went to your store today, and which visitors are doing what events. And the different events are listed here. Product viewed, category viewed, other page viewed, product added to cart, product removed from cart, checkout started, order placed. So Omnisend is cool in the sense that it will keep track of all those different type of events. But for the most part, I don't think there's really a good point in spending time here because it doesn't really help you to know what people are doing live. All you want is to have their email contacts and then be able to promote to them in the future, right? There's much more important things you could be doing with your time than, staring at this and seeing what people are doing because it doesn't really help you very much. So that is it. That is the conclusion of my overview of this dashboard. Hopefully you're a little bit more familiar with it now. As you can see, the dashboard is really, really intuitive. It's easy to navigate. It's super duper simple. There's not a lot to it, but it packs a punch. So I'll see you guys in the next video. In this video, I want to quickly talk about audience segments. Audience segments is a really cool function that Omnisend has. It's pretty unique to Omnisend. That's why Omnisend is so powerful. So what is an audience segment? An audience segment is a way that you can further divide your total email contact list into a smaller segment or a smaller sub-email list based on conditions or rules or filters that you specify. For example, you can have, let's say, 1,000 people on your email contact list, but you can segment those who have been previous customers that have purchased at least one item. Why would you ever want to do that? Well, for example, if you know someone, if you have 1,000 people on your email contact list, but only 500 of those 1,000 have ever purchased something from your store, you may want to email that specific 500 with a follow-up promotional email thanking them for purchasing something and then sending them a discount code. Chances are those 500 who have purchased from your website in the past are more likely to purchase from your website again, and therefore they are kind of like a hot lead or a hot email that you can send to for some quick return on investment. All right, so that is the purpose of segmenting your overall email list. You don't want to always send one email to your entire email list because your email list is made up of customers with varying relations to your website and business. Some have bought from you, some have never purchased a product from your website, some have purchased maybe 5 years ago, and some have just purchased 1 day ago. Some are more likely to open up your email, some never open up emails. So there's those are the reasons why you want to segment out your entire email list. Once you segment your email list and create that sub email list, you can later create an email campaign and select that sub list as your target. So you save a segment, and then that segment becomes a target for a future email campaign or for a future automation workflow email. So it's essentially saving targets that are segments of your overall list. And there are hundreds of different conditions or rules that you can specify when creating a segment. These segments are extremely, extremely versatile, and I'll do a walkthrough for you right now. So the first thing you want to do is go to Audience tab at the top. Then you can see, generally if you went to Audience tab, you would see all of your email contacts right here, every single email contact that you have. It would be under the All Contacts sub-tab. If you go to Save Segments, generally you would see all the segments that you have already saved here. But because I have not created a saved segment yet, you're not going to see anything here. So let's go back to All Contacts and click Create Segment. So as I mentioned earlier, segments can be created off a lot of different conditions. It is extremely, extremely versatile. You can filter by channels. I don't really use filter by channels that much. Instead, I use filter by shopping behavior or filter by email campaign activity. I don't use filter by properties as much either. Not to say that you can't use them, I just don't use them as much. So what does it mean by filter by shopping behavior? So because Omnisend is connected to your Shopify, anytime you get a customer's email, Omnisend knows everything that that customer has done. When they purchased a product, what product they purchased, did they use a discount code, what date did they purchase, how much was that purchase as far as cost, how many items they purchased. That is what filtering by shopping behavior is. You can filter by someone who has made exactly 5 purchases in the past 365 days. It gets that detailed. That's how versatile segments are. You can also filter by email campaign activity. Let's assume that in the past you have sent out an email campaign to your entire email contact list or parts of your email contact list. You can then create a segment that filters out customers who performed a particular behavior or action to one of your previous email campaigns. For example, you can filter by customers who have opened your email campaign, clicked through your email campaign, purchased using your email campaign. You can filter by those who have never opened your email campaign. There's a lot of ways you can filter by email campaign activity. For the example I want to show you today, I'm going to create a saved segment of customers who have previously placed an order on my store, at least one. Why would I ever want to create this segment? The reason I would want to create this segment is because if someone has purchased from my store in the past, chances are they like my store, they like my brand, and they may be willing to purchase another product from my store. So once I create that segment, I can go back to email campaigns, which is the top left. I can create an email promotion campaign targeted at that specific segment and let those customers know, hey, thanks for purchasing a product in the past. You're one of our loyal customers. I wanted to reward you by providing you a 30% discount code. Please come back and purchase again. That is a perfect example of why you want to create a segment and how you would create an email campaign to target those segments. Once you create a segment, you have that saved segment forever, and you can always use that segment as a target audience for an email campaign or for an automated workflow email. So let's try it out right now. So again, I'm creating a segment of customers who have previously made a purchase, at least one purchase, one time on my store. So that's obviously a shopping behavior. So I'm going to look under filtering by shopping behaviors, which is right here. And then I'm going to look at placed in order, right? Because I want to filter by customers who have placed at least one order on my store. Placed order. Once you get in here, there's even more sub-filtering and conditions. For example, product category. You can filter by customers who have purchased an order or placed an order within a certain product category. You can filter by customers who have placed an order on a certain date or before a certain date or after a certain date. You can filter by customers who have placed an order before or after a specific email campaign that you have sent out in the past. You can filter customers who have placed an order using a discount code, in which you would specify that discount code while you create the segment. You can filter by customers who have placed an order on a product with a particular tag. Remember I talked about tags in Shopify? Each product can have a tag, and you can filter those tags right here. You can filter customers who have placed an order with a certain average order spend, meaning you can specify how much money a customer has to use to meet this segment. You can specify by the number of orders placed in the past by this customer. So as you can see, the filtering gets extremely detailed. So for us, we're trying to filter by a customer who has previously placed at least one order. So we're going to look through this to see which one best applies. Total spent, number of orders placed. That looks correct. So I'm going to click that. So filtering by customers who have placed an order by the number of orders placed. So we just care about those who have placed at least one order. So I'm going to click at least. I don't know why they always have the word is in front. You could kind of almost just remove the word is and just say at least. So number of orders placed at least one, right? That means I'm filtering by customers who have placed an order at least one time. And I'm going to click add. So after that, you can see here, customers who have placed an order, number of orders placed at least one time, and I'm going to click Save Segment. I'm going to title this Customers Who Have Placed at Least One Order. I'm going to click Save Segment. Once I click Save Segment, it's going to go from the All Contact section to the Save Segment section. So if I click Refresh, it's not going to be in the All Contact section anymore because it has moved to the Save Segment section. And that's it. That's how you use it. So in the future, when you create an email campaign, you will always have the option to target this specific saved segment. Please take advantage of your saved segments. The more focused your email marketing is, the higher the chance that someone will take advantage of the email you send them. The higher the chance they'll open it, and the higher the chance that they will perform whatever action you want them to perform. The more broad your emails are, the higher the chance that your customers will not have any use for your email. They'll get upset, they'll think your email is spam, and they'll unsubscribe from your email list, which is the worst possible situation because you won't be able to email them again. I hope that made sense, and I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next video. In this video, I want to review what a pop-up form is and how you might want to take advantage of it and why you might want to use it. So what are pop-up forms? And by the way, pop-up forms can also be known as sign-up forms or just forms for short, which is what Omnisend calls it. I like to call pop-up forms because I think it makes more sense. So pop-up forms are your way of collecting emails. These forms generally pop up when someone initially visits your online store's homepage. The pop-up form is your opportunity to provide some form of incentivization for a customer or visitor to your store to provide their email or in exchange for their emails. Incentivizations consist of joining your newsletter, discount codes, or other promotions. So I hope that makes sense. So when a visitor first comes to your store, this pop-up would pop up right in front of them, and it would provide some form of incentivization in exchange for their email. So you're trying to collect emails, but customers are not just going to give over their email if they're not going to get something in return. So generally, it's going to require some form of incentivization, and a discount code is a perfect example of an incentivization. Quick tip, every online store should have at least one pop-up form to collect emails. If you don't have a pop-up form, it is extremely difficult to collect someone's email. Just think about it. Can you think of another way where you could gather or collect someone's email without using a pop-up form? It's very difficult. You can use Omnisend for your pop-up form or other apps that specialize in pop-up forms specifically. As long as you connect those apps to Omnisend so that all your contacts are centrally stored in Omnisend. So I hope this part makes sense. What I'm trying to tell you is that although Omnisend has a section for pop-up forms, which is right here at the top where it says forms, you don't have to use Omnisend's forms, right? You can just use Omnisend for email marketing, for email campaigns and automated walkthrough emails. You don't have to use it for pop-up forms. There are other apps out there that are specifically made for pop-up forms. That means that's all the app is created for. So they're really good at pop-up forms. If you use another app for pop-up forms specifically for collecting emails, you want to make sure that app is integrated with Omnisend so that whenever that secondary app collects an email, that email is also transported over into your Omnisend platform. Because at the end of the day, Omnisend has to have a list of all of your email contacts, because all of your email marketing will be performed by Omnisend. Regardless if you collect emails using a different app, you still want all the emails you collect in one place, and that is Omnisend. I hope that makes sense. And I hope the strategy of pop-up forms also makes sense to you. Please ensure that you have some form of pop-up form on your website, whether you use it via Omnisend or you use a secondary application. Almost every successful e-commerce business has a pop-up form of some sort. You may have seen it in the past but not have noticed it, but I guarantee you'll start noticing it now. All right, guys, see you on the next video. In this video, I want to do a quick walkthrough of how to create a good pop-up form for your website. I'm going to dive in right now, and again, a quick tip. Providing some form of incentivization, whether it be a discount code, access to your newsletter, access to some kind of promotion, it is always necessary for an effective pop-up form. You're trying to collect someone's email, so if you don't provide an incentivization, why would they sign up and provide their email? Because their email is very personal to them. They don't want to get spam. They want to know that they're going to get something really good for their email. And generally, if that incentivization can be applied to them immediately, they're going to be even more likely to be able to provide you their emails. All right, let's dive in. So to get to the form, pop-up form section, click Forms. You'll see that there's some suggested pop-up forms already in there by default. None of these are live, so they're all drafts, right? Draft meaning they're not complete yet. You can go ahead and just either delete all of these or ignore them. I'm going to tell you how to create a form by scratch. So I'm going to click Create Form up here. So as I mentioned, as I wait for it to load, as I mentioned, an incentivization, if it can be immediately applied to the customer, then the customer is going to be even more likely to provide you their emails, right? What do I mean by immediate? For example, if you give a discount code to a customer and let them know they can use that discount code of 30% off immediately, today in the store, they're going to be really happy about that, and that's really going to increase your chances of collecting their email. So with that said, there's a couple different pop-up form types that you can use. There's a pop-up form, which is just a really standard form that pops up right in the middle of your homepage when someone visits. There's a Wheel of Fortune pop-up form. So wheel pop-up forms are like this new, really cool way of creating a pop-up form that's more interactive. It's been working really well. I've seen a lot of stores use it. The reason it works better than your typical pop-up form is people are familiar with the typical pop-up form. They know why it's there. But sometimes when you throw them off with this kind of Wheel of Fortune pop-up form, it's a pop-up form where they have to click a button and the wheel will spin, and depending on where it lands, they will get some kind of discount. And you can dictate what result happens when they spin that wheel. There's also a sign-up box, which is it's not really a pop-up form. It's a box that's located somewhere on your website where a visitor can go and input their email at any time. And then there's a landing page. A landing page means a separate page, not your home page, but a completely separate page that you can have people sign up for. I don't generally use landing pages because you are basically, it takes more work to funnel your visitors into a landing page than it is to simply have them sign up on your homepage. So I don't really use landing pages. Sign up boxes, I don't use them because I don't use them unless they're already included in my Shopify theme. The reason sign-up boxes I don't use is because they are not interactive enough. They're not dynamic enough. So customers often don't see them, and therefore if you don't see the box or the form, then you're not going to input your email, obviously, right? You need a form to kind of pop up in front of the face of a customer for them to kind of see it and then interact with it. So usually I use a wheel type pop-up form. I actually don't use Omnisend for my pop-ups. I use a different app called Wheelio, which I'll review in the Shopify app section of this course. But that app does come with money. It does come with a certain cost or a monthly expense. So if you are trying to bootstrap your first Shopify store or you don't have that much capital, you can definitely use one of these forms here that I would recommend, either a pop-up form, which is more of a generic pop-up form, or a Wheel of Fortune form. Today I'm going to show you how to create a pop-up form because this is the most gold standard way to create a form. So I'm going to click it, and it's going to bring me to a page where I can edit the content and the design and the settings of my pop-up form. So you can see here we're in the theme section where we choose a theme, then we're going to edit the content and design, then we're going to edit the settings, and then we're going to confirm and launch the pop-up form so it is live on our Shopify store. So there's also a toggle right here between form and success. Form is what the pop-up form will look like to the customer. Success means what will happen after someone inputs their email. Generally, it might just say thank you for subscribing, but we're going to edit both form and success, right? So for this example, again, I am trying to create a pop-up form that provides a customer 30% off discount code immediately after they input their email. So first off, you're going to name your pop-up form. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it pop-up form 30% off, right? So I can remember it. There's a lot of different types of pop-up forms. There's a standard, which is what you see now. There's a standard 2, which is kind of looks the same. There's an exit intent for those who are trying to leave your website, and this might pop up. There's a free shipping to get free shipping on your first order if you input your email. There's a Black Friday. In the US, Black Friday is kind of like a big e-commerce holiday. And then there's a discount offer. This is what I'm going to choose because I want to provide a discount, right? So it's going to look something like this. This is just a standard form. You could choose where you want your image. So right now the image is on the left. If I choose image right, this image will now be on the right and the content will be on the left, or the verbiage will be on the left. So I'm going to leave it as is. Here's where you choose the theme. There's a lot of different themes here, as you can see. I'm actually going to go back to layout. I like this background image layout where there's an image behind the kind of pop-up form. It just looks really cool, so I'm going to choose that one. All right, now that I've selected my form, I'm going to click success, which looks like this. Not much to it. You don't have to do anything in the success section yet, but we will edit the success section in the content and design step. So for now, I'm just going to click edit content, or go to the next section, which is edit content and design. So there's a toggle button here. There's content and design. Design is more for the colors and the font and the graphics and the picture. Content is the actual words that are used in the pop-up form. So let's do content first. So content, English, because I'm in the United States. You could input a logo, which is optional, and that logo will pop up somewhere in this form. It will show up somewhere in this form, I'm sorry. You can change the image in the background. I'm going to replace the image. Let's assume in this example, I'm selling iPhone cases on my Shopify store. I don't want a picture of leaves on my pop-up form because it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to replace this image. I'm going to choose an image that makes more sense. Maybe I choose this image right here and upload it. While that's uploading, I'm going to change the headline text. Right now it says 15% off. I don't think 15% off is a big enough incentive for someone to provide their email to you. I think the sweet spot is generally around 25 to 30% off, right? But before you provide a 30% off discount, please ensure that your profit margins are set high enough so that if you give a discount code of 30% off, you will still make a good profit so that you can have a successful business, right? Assume that every customer is going to use this discount code, and make sure you set your prices high enough so that even with a 30% off discount, you're still making a good profit on the products you sell. Then I'm going to edit oh, here we go. So see that the image has now uploaded in the background. These are actually pictures of iPhone cases, even though it doesn't really look like it. So just wanted to point that out. Now we're going to edit the second headline text, which is the text right here. As you can see, it says 15% still, so I'm going to change that to 30%. You can change everything if you want, but I'm not going to do it for the sake of time. So now it says 30% off. Sign up to our newsletter for 30% off your first order. So I like that. I'm going to leave it like that. Enable email opt-in. I leave that selected. Email is required. That's the whole point of the pop-up form, so I have that checked. Enable phone number opt-in. You can leave this unchecked unless you're doing text message marketing, in which case you would want to collect people's phone numbers as well. You could add additional fields if you want, but I'm not going to do that. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for subscribing. So if you click the success button, this is what it says when someone subscribes and inputs their email. But again, the whole point of this pop-up form is to give someone a 30% off discount. So as soon as someone inputs their email, I want it to say, thank you for subscribing. Here is your 30% discount code. You can use it immediately. So I'm going to pause here real quick. I'm going to go back to my Shopify account. I'm going to create a discount code really quick, right? Because Omnisend doesn't create the discount code for you. You have to do it yourself, and you have to do it on Shopify. So I'm going to click discount code. I'm going to just name it some arbitrary code like new subscriber 30 for 30% off. I'm going to do percentage. I'm going to do 30% off. Entire order, minimum requirements none. I'm going through this fast because I've already shown you how to do it, all right? Customer eligibility, everyone. Usage limits, none. And start date is today. All right, so I'm going to copy this real quick, copy it, Control C, click Save. All right, I'm going to click back. You can see the discount code has been created. Again, you want to copy the new subscriber 30. You want to copy that discount code because you want to paste it in here, right? To edit the success message, you're going to click message right here, right? It says thank you for subscribing. I'm going to press enter. Here is your 30% off discount code. I'm going to do that. I'm going to paste the discount code from earlier, and there you go. I'm going to actually do it kind of like that. I'm trying to see if there's a better way to do this. All right, there you go. So thank you for subscribing. Below is your 30% off discount code. Active immediately. Or actually, I mean, you guys can mess around with this. I'm just going to write this for now. Below is your 30% off discount code. And there you go. Now, you can even write something additional, like, for example, copy and paste this code during checkout. Obviously, this is too much to write. You want to shorten this somehow. You could even, maybe that part is not necessary. But you want to write this so that makes sense. This is obviously just me doing the example, so I'm going to do it really quick, all right? So there you have it. This is what the form looks like. Once someone inputs their email, they should get this message, all right? And you can always edit the font and stuff as well. I'm going to click Save and Proceed. So now we're on the settings step. So the first thing is a tag. Adding a tag will allow you to filter out contacts who have subscribed through this sign-up form. So my tag is going to be 30% pop-up form. What it means by filter out is in the future you can create a segment that filters out customers who have subscribed to your email list specifically through this pop-up form, so that in the future you can send an email campaign to only those who signed up through this pop-up form, basically. So I'm just going to title it whatever arbitrary tag. Then for double opt-in. Double opt-in means that if someone signs up, they will get an email sent to them where they will have to verify their email. That is a lot of work for a customer, so I never ever do double opt-in. You want to make the process as easy as possible for the customer, so don't check this. Timing. You can schedule when the form will appear. I want the form to appear immediately when someone visits my store. I think that's the best way to go about it, so I'll leave it as immediately. Targeting. Specify where we should show or not show the form. So I like my form to really show on any page when customers visit, right? But you can set the settings so that this form only shows up on your home page, and you can exclude all of your other pages if you want. It just really depends on your preference. And then limit. Indicate when will the form be displayed again for the non-subscriber visitors. That means, say someone comes to your store, they see this pop-up form, they click this X button because they don't want to subscribe. How, if that person were to come back, how much time will need to pass before they see this pop-up form again? I like to do 1 day, because if someone doesn't subscribe, I want to shove this discount pop-up form right in their face again and hope that they do subscribe the next time they visit. All right. If they're visiting twice, it probably means that they're somewhat interested in something about your store. All right, guys, I'm gonna click Save and Proceed. Here's a summary of what we talked about, and I'm gonna click Save and Enable. Save and close means you save it, but it doesn't go live on your store. Save and enable means it goes live on your Shopify store. So I'm gonna click Save and Enable. And there you have it. This one is the one we just created, the pop-up form 30% off. It's live, that's why you see a checkbox here. All these other forms are draft, so they're not live. So let's test it out. If I go to my online store right now, which I can do by clicking Online Store and clicking View Your Store, I should have this pop-up form show up. And there it is. It looks so beautiful. So if I type in my email, let's say my email is kevin@gmail.com. That's not my real email, but let's just say that is my email. I click Activate Discount. Boom, thank you for subscribing. Below is your 30% off discount code. I'm going to copy that. And now when I go to purchase something on my store and I check out, I can use that discount code to get 30% off immediately. And that is how you do a pop-up form, guys. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next video. In this video, I want to review automation workflow emails, also known as automated emails or automated workflows. Whenever I say one of those terms, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So what is an automation workflow? Automation workflows are conditions you set to trigger automated emails meant to engage your customers at every stage of their customer journey. Reach your customers at the right time with the right message. So what I mean by customer journey is, depending on what activity the customer is doing on your store, whether they're putting a product into their shopping cart, or they're just looking at a product, or maybe they're checking out a product but they didn't pay for it, or maybe they already checked out the product. Depending on the workflows you set up, you can send an email to a customer based on any of those kind of activities, any part of their journey in a way. I hope that makes sense. Quick tip, automation workflows are one of the best values an email marketing platform provides. Take advantage of it and set up several automated workflows. The more the better. Every email is an opportunity to provide someone an incentive to return and shop again. The reason automation workflows are such a big value, it is probably the best value in this entire Omnisend app. The reason it's so much of a value is because they are automated. That means once you set it up and take the time and effort to set it up the first time, you never have to really set it up again, right? And these automated emails are going to be interacting with your customers or your previous website visitors, and they're going to try to get them to come back and make a purchase on your store, right? We're essentially creating a sales funnel for anyone that comes to your website, and that is all passive, right? Any money you make off one of these automated emails is considered passive income, because you don't have to do anything to make those customers come back to purchase again. All right, so it's very automatic. So if you want to go to automated workflows, you're going to click automation up here, and you'll see that Omnisend has some suggested workflows already for you. You can just ignore them or just delete them. The reason is because I have listed my favorite automation workflows right here. These are ones I actually use. This is how many workflows I have set up, right? There is no reason you should limit yourself on automation workflows. The reason is because the more the better, right? The more automations you have set up, the more chances you have to interact with your customers. The only setback of having too many workflows is that a customer is emailed too many times. So you want to make sure that none of these automation workflows are redundant or overlap or conflict with each other. But for the most part, these are the ones I use. I'm going to walk through them right now, but if you wanted to look at these, you would just click create new workflow and all of them should pop up. So subscriber welcome. So actually, let me go back here. So I'm going to click under automation, I'm going to click new workflow. I'm going to do that to show you where these are located. So once you click new workflow, you're going to see all of these things. This is what it means when it says you can create an automation workflow for any part of a customer's journey. When they initially subscribe, when they're shopping or trying to shop, when they purchase a product so they become a buyer, when they come back and purchase again so they're a repeat buyer, or other situations as well. So you can click any of these, right? Let's say I click subscriber. There's a couple options here, right? You can send a person that newly subscribes to your website one email to welcome them, or you can send them a chain of 3 emails, and you could separate those 3 emails with a particular amount of time that you can dedicate and specify. You can also send them an email on their birthdays, just once a year. And again, these are all automatic. So once you set them up, it'll do it for you. A couple more examples. Reach out to shoppers who have viewed a product and then left your store. So they put a product in their shopping cart and they never went to go pay for that product and they just left. And that happens all the time. I go on, clothing websites and I put a bunch of clothes into a shopping cart, and sometimes I just do that to organize what I think I might want to buy, but I decide I don't want to buy anything. So I just abandon my cart. And this, if someone provided their email to you via the pop-up form, or maybe during the checkout they put their email in but they never put their credit card information in, you're going to have their email. So if they abandon that cart, you can set up an automated workflow to email them after they abandon that cart. And you can specify how much time has to go by before that email is sent out. So for example, if they abandon their cart today at 1 p.m. and you specify 6 hours, then that person who abandoned the cart will get an email at 7 p.m., 6 hours later, right? And usually those emails will look something like this. Hey, you forgot this product in your shopping cart. Please come back and purchase it. Here's a 25% discount code, right? You want to incentivize someone to come back. You don't have to incentivize them, but for me, I always like to incentivize my customers to come back. I think it's the best way to get someone to come back, right? They left for a reason. So if you don't give them a good reason to come back, they don't really have a reason to come back. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ones. There's a bunch here. There's a bunch for repeat buyers. So with that said, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to talk about the ones I recommend to you. So you should be able to find each one of these workflows over here. You'll notice that there's a hyphen. There's always a word, then a hyphen, and then another word or title. The first word before the hyphen refers to one of these 5 options. And then the second part of these titles after the hyphen refers to the actual name. So if I say subscriber welcome 1 email, I'm talking about subscriber and then the title welcome 1 email, okay? And then subscriber birthday 1 email, subscriber birthday 1 email. So these are the ones I recommend. You can go look them up yourself and try to set up all of these automation workflows. You don't have to use all of them, but these are the ones I like, the ones I recommend. They have significantly helped me. They make up probably 10% of my monthly profits or more sometimes, depending on what month it is and what promotions or holidays are around. But they are just really, really amazing. So I hope you guys get the chance to use them. You can also set up I forgot to add, you can set up others as well, which is over here. Others would be, maybe you want a repeat email for a particular holiday or for Black Friday. That's what others would be. So that's it. That's what automation workflows are. I'm gonna do a nice walkthrough for you in another video, so I hope you enjoy. See you guys on the next video. In this video, I want to do a walkthrough of how to set up and create your automated workflow emails. Let's dive in. So the first thing you want to do is click automation. It will bring you to this page. There's already suggested automation workflows by Omnisend. You can either ignore them or delete them. I'm going to instead show you how to create an automated workflow email from scratch, which is up here. I'm going to click new workflow. So there are a lot of types of automated workflows, like I've mentioned. The one I want to show you how to set up today is a abandoned cart email. Generally, I actually recommend using the abandoned cart 3 emails, meaning you send someone 3 emails after they abandon the cart. That's the one I use. But for this example, I'm just going to do 1 email because it's going to save me a lot of time to show you the example. So what is an abandoned cart email? It says right here, recover your abandoned carts and send an automated email every time a shopper adds items to the cart but doesn't make a purchase. So if I go to my, if a customer comes to my store, they look at a product, they're interested in that product, they put that product in their shopping cart, their virtual shopping cart, they go to checkout, right? Maybe they input their email, but they never input their credit card information and they never buy the product, and then for whatever reason they leave the website, which happens every single day, right? I'm guilty of that as well. I go to websites all the time and I add things to my shopping cart because I think the product has potential. I'm interested in the product, but for whatever reason I leave, right? So with an automated workflow, you can send an automatic email to someone that does that, right? Someone that does that will trigger this email and they will get an email from Omnisend sent to them automatically after X amount of hours. So we're going to click that. So this is the email workflow. As you can see, it's actually visually a workflow, which helps with navigating the editing for the automation workflow. So you'll see 3 values up here. The first value is the number of customers that have entered the workflow. To enter a workflow means to trigger the workflow, meaning they put a product in their cart and then they left the website without paying. So they would be here. That means they met the first requirement, which was the trigger, meaning they abandoned their cart. The second number is the number of customers who are now in the workflow, meaning they've already triggered the first step and they're somewhere in this process. Maybe they're in the waiting time before they get the email. Maybe they just got the email, right? And these are the customers who have exited the workflow, meaning they've gone through the entire workflow and they're at the end of workflow. And this just gives you a sense of how many people are actively in the workflow right now. Why would you ever need to know that information? Well, let's assume that you're not creating the workflow from scratch, you're actually editing an old workflow. Well, if you edit an old workflow, you may interrupt the workflow for those who are currently in that workflow. But because we are creating a new workflow, we don't have any customers in our workflow and we're not really worried about that, okay? So first off, let's go and edit this workflow. The first thing is trigger. You don't really edit that, right? When you select abandoned cart, that is the trigger. So the first step in editing is the delay time. How long do you want to wait before the customer is sent the promotional email? So I'm gonna click this and show you how to edit it. You can choose minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, whatever. I'm gonna choose actually minutes, right? And I'm gonna choose, 30 minutes. Because if someone puts a product in their cart, that means they are in the psychological mindset of buying something. They're really, really hot right now. But for some reason they left. So I wanna go back and I wanna send an email right away to them within 30 minutes to get their mind back on buying, right? They're about to buy, they're right on the edge, you want to push them over the edge and make them buy. So I want to send them in 30 minutes. I don't always choose minutes, sometimes I do days or weeks, it really depends on the situation. in this section, there's two options. It says changes will be applied only to the new participants of the workflow. So whenever you edit a workflow, if you have an existing workflow and you edit it, when the new edits will only apply to people that enter the workflow or trigger the workflow after you've edited it. For those who are currently in the workflow while you're editing a previous workflow, you have two options for them. You can either discontinue the current sequence of the old workflow prior to you editing it, meaning if they abandon their cart and they're in the first 30 minutes and they're about to get an email, they're not going to get that email if you choose the first one. If you choose the second one, then all previous customers who are currently in a workflow will finish that workflow with the rules that were set prior to you editing it, okay? But right now, none of these matter because we don't have any customers currently in our workflow. So, but if I did, I would probably do complete the workflow. So now we're going to edit the email, which is probably the most important part. I'm going to click edit email content, which should bring me to a page that looks something like this. There's two toggles here, content and design. Design is more for the colors and the imagery. Content is more for the verbiage and the actual copy. And there's really only one step when you're editing emails in this workflow. See, there's only one step. After that, you would just click save and go back to the workflow. So this is what the email currently looks like by default. You have an image at the top, maybe a logo. You can input whatever image you want. These are called blocks. You see I'm going from this block to this block to this block to this block. And you can add blocks by grabbing this and dragging it over here and sliding it in, okay? So you have an image at the top, which you could put a logo or you could put like a banner of some sort. You have this heading right here, says still shopping, question mark. Some items have been left behind. And they say that because this is an abandoned cart email, right? You click shop now, which, you know, that brings you probably to your store. And then a special offer for this purchase. So we're gonna offer a 30% discount for our customers. That's what I generally do. I think 30% is really the sweet spot to get someone to come back and purchase, right? They're already right there on the edge. They put the product in their shopping cart, but they left. But that shows that they're interested. All we have to do is give them that incentive and they'll probably come back and hopefully purchase it. So I'm gonna edit this part first because it's not that intuitive. So what I'm gonna do is click here. Every time you click a block, the right side changes as well. So if I want to click this to edit, then I'll click it and the right side changes to correspond with this particular block so I can edit it. So a special offer for this purchase, you can say use this 30% discount code now, right? And it says in the smaller letters will say enter this code at checkout to redeem your discount. It will link back to this redeem now button will link back to my Shopify store. Apply Shopify discount link. We're not going to actually use a discount link. Instead, if you have this block, Omnisend will create a newly generated discount code that is unique for every single customer. It will do it automatically for you. You won't have to go over to your discount section and create a discount. It will do it for you. You could create a discount and put a text box here if you think that's easier. But if you want to use the block that has a discount, which is what this block is, it will generate a discount for you. If you deleted this box, you can actually type the discount right here if you wanted, but you would have to create the discount code yourself. I hope that makes sense. So to edit this discount, I'm going to slide it here up to the top. I'm going to click conditions, right? These are the conditions for this block, for this discount and how to redeem it by the customer perspective. So I'm going to do cart percentage, right? And I'm going to do 30% off. Right now it's at 10% off. I'm going to change it to 30. Expires. How long do you want this discount code to last? And you'll see an expiration date generated at the bottom right here for the customer. I'm going to do 7 days, right? And sometimes I feel like it should be shorter. Sometimes I feel like it should be longer. But you want to, put some time sensitivity around this. I might even do 3 days. All right, 4 days. It's really up to you. Maybe I'll do 5 days. It doesn't really matter. And this is the format of the expiration date. And that's it. We're going to go back to text. Make sure everything's okay. and we'll scroll down. This is the products that will be pre-populated. It will be generated based off what products were left in the actual shopping cart. Remember, Omnisend and Shopify are connected, so Omnisend should be able to see what products were left behind. And if you click this, you can also edit it as you would like. Generally, I do show product image for obvious reasons because it's more visual, it's more enticing for the customer. I'll do show the title of the product. I'll remove show description because I don't think that's needed. Obviously, they should be able to see the product image, so they don't really need a product description. Less words are better. Show the price, and then I don't show the old price. But actually, I take that back. If you do the show the old price, it will show the price before the discount up here, okay, if that makes sense. So you can leave that, or if you don't want to leave it, you don't have to. And that's it. You can look at settings if you want, but it's really just for design perspective. I'm gonna click save and close, and then save and go back. And here we are. The last thing I want to point out is if you do not see this status toggle button, that means you are not completely done with setting up your workflow. That means there's some kind of error in your workflow, right? You should be able to click this and click this off if you want to, all right? If you don't have this status button, if you can't turn it on, that means there's something wrong with your workflow. And if I'm assuming if there's something wrong, it's probably because you do not have an email sender address set up. So if you click show more here and you click change info here, you want to have an email that you own inputted right here, which is sender email. Don't make up an email, use an email that you own, and this is the email that the customer will see when they receive your email, right? Click save after you add it in. By default, if you don't have that added in, it might say in red letters right here, email missing or email error, and that's what it means. It's basically telling you to go in here, click change info, and add a sender email address. Once you do that, chances are you won't have any more errors, and you will be able to see this status button, and you'll be able to turn it on. Once you turn it on, this workflow email is going to be live. So if I go back to automation, I should see this email in here, and it is right here. Abandoned cart emails, and it is enabled, meaning it is live, all right? And there you have it. That is how you set up an automated workflow. It does take some time initially, but once you have them all set, you're never going to have to worry about them again, all right? They're going to make you money, and it's not going to really cost any of your time, and it's just really awesome. All right, guys, hope you like that, and I'll see you guys on the next video. In this video, I want to talk about email campaigns and how to use them. So what's an email campaign? Email campaigns are simply emails you proactively send out to promote your online store. They generally include some form of incentivization, for example, a discount code, for customers to visit your store and make a purchase. Unlike automated workflow emails, email campaigns are not automated and cannot be triggered by any particular condition, for example, new subscriber. Email campaigns must be proactively and manually sent out by you. Okay, so I hope everyone understands the difference between email campaigns and automated workflow campaigns. Email campaigns are not automated, while automated workflow emails are, right? Email campaigns are intuitively probably what you think of when you think of email marketing, right? Sending out an email for a Christmas promotion or sale, that's an email campaign. Although you can't automate email campaigns, you can schedule them for a future date. So for example, if it's November, you can create an email campaign for Christmas and schedule it to be sent out on Christmas Day or whenever. Tip: set up a schedule of when you want to send out email campaigns annually. For example, you may want to send out an email campaign with a discount code for holiday promotions such as Christmas, Black Friday, New Year's, Thanksgiving, July 4th. Then you can use the same template every single year that you are in business. So you can have an email campaign set up, write out, take time to write out your email campaigns for the entire year, and then schedule all of those email campaigns ahead of time, and then just get it all done. And then every year you can kind of use that same template over and over. So I hope that makes sense. Email campaigns are just another way to send an email to a customer. The only difference is it has to be done proactively. You have to manually create an email campaign, and you have to manually set it up and send it out. All right, it's not going to be triggered in any way. Only you can determine when email campaigns are sent out. All right, guys, see you on the next video.